Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Welcome to my channel. I am the Manicurist Enhancer. So let's just get right into it. I have 6 topics that I want to share with you guys that will enhance your opportunity to develop and enhance and enhance your business, because a lot of times we have these golden ideas and we're ready to jump right in and do what we need to do with the structure of our business, and then we run into a brick wall because we don't know what else to do and what happened, and we have writer's block, and we don't have the motivation. So behind me is my whiteboard, and if you can't see it, I'm going to read it out loud so that you can take steps 1 through 6. I also have my link tree up here. That's linktree/Shay Marie, and it will give you the opportunity to go straight to my YouTube channel, my website where I have my books at, and also the newest book that I've completed, the Accountability Journal, which is on Amazon. Okay, so number 1, if you feel like you have gotten off track, you want to get back to the basics. Number 1, get back to the basics. So that means you have to think about why. Why did you start? What gave you the reason to say, this is my time to do this? What is your passion for your business? I feel like if you've been doing your business or your skills or your talent for maybe 5 years or plus, you're considered an expert. So you should be able to tell people right off the bat what your business is for, what you're selling, what you're promoting, what you're teaching, and things like that. So if you feel like you can't give somebody the spiel of what you need to do or what you're trying to sell in your business, you need to get back to the basics. Go back to the drawing board. Go back and get your journal. Go back and get that notebook that you started with, and go to the beginning and look at your notes and see what happened and where did you fall off. Okay, so getting back to the basics is probably the primary thing that you need to do, because a lot of times we're into social media and we're looking at the successes of other people's businesses and their social media channels, and we probably feel like, I've fallen off, I'm nowhere near where they are. But you have to go back and say, hey, why did I start this in the first place? Why did I feel like the day, the time, and the month that I did it? Why did I feel like that was the right time for me? And if you go back to your journal or go back to the basics and you can't figure that out, then maybe that wasn't the time for you, and maybe you just jump right into it because you felt like this is something you wanted to do at that time. All right. So number 1, get back to the basics. Number 2, seek out your market. Also, a lot of times we jump into it, we get a little extra money, and we all know that we have come into some money over the past couple years, and we probably felt like, well, if they did it, I can do it. Not necessarily so. You can't sell cupcakes to the arts and craft audience. You can't sell hair items to someone who makes backpacks or someone who cooks vegan. You can't sell stuff to them, to the people who eats beef and chicken and things like that. So always seek out your market first before you go out there and start just opening up your brand and just selling to everyone. That sometimes that may work, but that may not work all the time. So if you kind of feel like you're stuck in the mud, you need to go out and seek your audience. And a good way to do that, number 2, seek your audience. Number 3, survey and ask questions. You can take a poll. Nowadays, they got social media set up where you can take polls anywhere. You can take a poll. You can go, if your business is a brick and mortar, you can go around in the community and ask questions, do surveys. People love to do surveys. They love the icebreakers. So you could just go and say, hey, I have a business down the street, or I have an online business and I'm trying to sell to this community. What do you like about this, that, and the other? So asking questions and doing surveys is a surefire way to get your audience. Okay? Number 4, you can go door to door. Again, it works the same way. Sorry guys, I have a cough. Door to door works the same way with the community that your business is in. If you have a online business, if you have a home-based business, going door to door, or even on social media, door to door is a standard term for getting to meet your audience or getting your product out in the open. So you have to show your face to people. Sometimes we have companies that prefer to be behind the scenes and they don't want to show their face. But if your product needs a face to the company, then you're going to have to get out there and go door to door, and show your face and show people who you are and put a name to the brand. You can do that. Okay. Number 5, you can do a meet and greet. Meet and greets are also called pop-ups now. Pop-up shops. You can have vendor shows. You can do like a ladies' night or a guys' night or a co-ed night or networking event. Things like that to get, the flow of what you need to be doing for your business. So meet and greet, that's a very good way to show the audience what you're about. But if you have a service, you could very well provide a service at your meet and greet, or you can tell what your service is about, but you have to show. It has to be very visual. So nowadays people want to see, touch, smell. What do you have to offer? What's in it? What's the ingredients? How big is it? What do you have for me that's going to help me in my growth? So I think that meet and greets will give you the opportunity to, say for instance, I'm a nail tech. So if I feel like I have a meet and greet and I don't want to do nails at my meet and greet, I could do a PowerPoint and bring pictures and show slides of what I do. I can have little pamphlets and magazines and pass them around at my meet and greet. I can have pictures on the wall, pictures in frames and things like that. Even with my business, I'm a nail tech and I also have a nail supply store. So I can take some of my products to my meet and greet. I can also take some of my products door to door. You can have like little samples. You can have like little giveaways and things like that, just to show people what you offer. People want to touch. They want to see what it is that you have. And if all else fails, you have to go back and beat the pavement and pass out flyers. I took a freelance class for my nail business during the shutdown of the pandemic. And, the instructor was just telling us that sometimes, you get into the hustle bustle and people want to see your work. If you don't have a website, you must get a website if you have a service. If you don't have a physical portfolio, then you have to get a digital portfolio, and don't get confused with people in your type of industry. They're too busy to stop and see who you are. But if you have a very good presentation, they're going to stop and look and see what you have to offer. However, if none of this has worked for you, you may have to go back to the drawing board, to the old school way, and pass out flyers. I know that we have gotten so into the digital aspect of things, and we've gotten into social media and the internet and things like that. So we have gotten away from the physical. I'm a physical person. I still like to go to the bookstore and buy books, turn the pages. You can't assume that everyone is into the digitalness of the industry that you're in right now. Some people want to see your creativity. If you have a flyer, oh, this is nice, an eye catcher. They want to pick it up and read it and see where you're located. Things like that. You can wear buttons and you can say, I used to work at the airport and it used to say, ask me a question. Or when I worked at the bank, we used to have like attention grabbers on our name badge so that people can interact in conversations while you're waiting on them. So sometimes you will have to get back to the pavement, do the old school way, do the meet and greet, do the door to door, pass out your flyers, survey and ask questions, seek out your market, and get back to the basics. And then if you find that none of that is a pick-me-up for you in your business, then you're going to have to analyze and repeat. Sometimes we get out there and we feel like this is what I want to do right now, or I want to quit my job in the next 3 to 6 months. What can I do? If it's not a passion of yours, if it's not something that you come up with organically, I wouldn't suggest you looking at someone else's craft and their brand and saying, hey, they make that look easy. They make it look easy because it's a passion for them. You won't be able to carry on in your business if you're following behind someone else. And even when I teach my students, I always tell them, do not go to social media and YouTube, look at these videos, and grasp someone else's style and technique, because once you run out of their style and technique, you're going to be lost and stuck, and you're not going to know what to do after. So I encourage everyone that's watching this video, I challenge you, and I also encourage you to find your own craft, find your own style, find your own technique, be as original as possible so that you can meet these 6 goals and be sufficient in your business. Okay? So, like I said, if you go to my link tree, it'll give you the opportunity to go to my Bookwell site. It'll give you the opportunity to go to Amazon, and it'll also give you the opportunity to see my my personal page or my YouTube channel. And I give you instructions on how to go from steps to step. And the book is called the book you never knew you needed, the Accountability Journal. And it also shows you how to be accountable for yourself. You know, we feel like we need to have a partner, or I can't start my business, I can't go back to school, I can't decorate my house because I don't have an accountability partner. Well, fortunately for you, the book shows you how to be successful and accountable for yourself. Okay? So what happens if you have an accountability partner and they feel like today is not the day, I don't want to be accountable today, I don't want to do this business anymore, I went from making cakes, now I make shoes. And then what do? You're going to be lost because you relied on that person to be solely your accountability partner. No, go and pick up the book you never knew you needed, and it'll show you how to be accountable for yourself. And you can also still do step by step, and it shows you how to pick up if you fall off. You know, I'm not saying that we never fall off, we never get tired, we never get exhausted or depressed. But, you know, when we are in the hustle bustle of life and the routines of being a mom, being an employee, being the owner of something, you lose gas sometimes. So I encourage you to go pick up my book, because when you feel like you have run out of gas, that book will absolutely show you how to pick up and where to pick up. Okay? So tune back in, Manicurist Enhancer. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you.